Okay, everybody, how are we doing today? So, it is warm in here. Whew. But today, we are reacting to one of my favorite bands to react to. It's the return. It's the epic return. It's the resurrection. There we go. It is the resurrection of Church of the Cosmic Skull. My favorite band to react to, the New Age Pink Floyd. They are back again. This is another selection off their album, Is Satan Real? This is Do You Believe in Magic? Or Don't You Believe in Magic? Don't You Believe in Magic? Okay, let's go. Don't You Believe in Magic?
Whoa, don't you believe in magic? I hear the song I'll be hearing forevermore, like a calling from long before the world had made you mine. I'll never forget what you said on that lonely day. In the most unrelenting way, it meant the end of fear. And as the time drew near, I wished that I could hear you ask the question one more time.
Oh, it must have been the one. Of all the things you used to say, it made me laugh, but now you're gone. Of all the things you used to say that I said were in your mind, don't you believe it?
A good average song from them. A good average song with a really great guitar solo. And even the piano solo at the end was really great, too. Yeah. No, I almost feel like it's deliberate when bands do that sometimes, where they deliver a song that's super average, but just have that one section that is like way, way, way beyond average. Maybe they do it that way so you notice it more, how excellent that section is. I kind of feel like that's an actual formula that some bands do. That would certainly explain a song by Camelot called Nothing Ever Dies, where it's just an average power metal song, but then it has a really amazing melodic bridge section. I get the feeling like that was done on purpose, and that the same logic also applies here. So musically, what can I say? Excuse me. I don't want to rate everything separately, so I'm going to rate this a 3.5. 3.5 monocles. You get 3 monocles plus a half of a monocle. Yes. So let's take a look at the lyrics. It says, I hear the song I'll be hearing forevermore, like a calling from long before the world had made you mine. Well, the song you'll be hearing forevermore, that could just be what they call an earworm, just a very catchy song just a very catchy song that you can't seem to get out of your head. This might be a song about the industry or about the making of music, period. Like a calling from long before the world had made you mine. Well, I'm not sure what I can get out of that one, except maybe, like it's an old song from before the time that you had a relationship with someone. I'll never forget what you said on that lonely day. In the most unrelenting way, it meant the end of fear. And as the time drew near, I wished that I could hear you ask the question one more time. Do you believe in magic? So someone made a lasting impression on him or them, like it was a lonely time, they met someone, and they said or did something that they would never ever forget for the rest of their lives. That's the obvious conclusion. Sorry, I'm overanalyzing a bit, whoa. But it's in the most unrelenting way. Like, if you try to forget it, your brain will fight back and make you remember it anyway. I can attest that the human brain does kind of work that way. People think meditation is about, like clearing your mind and thinking about nothing, but that's not actually how it works or how it's done. It's about uncluttering your thought process and letting your brain do what it will naturally without making it do it. Sort of uncluttering the process and allowing your thoughts to pass through like water through a stream. It's very vivid. Yes, in the most unrelenting way, it meant the end of fear, meaning it was something that sort of made them feel good. Maybe it was reassuring. Sort of like a hug or a kiss, making you feel all warm and fuzzy and shit. But as the time drew near, I wish that I could hear you ask the question one more time, do you believe in magic? All the time that I spent looking for the truth, or a semblance of real proof that everything was real. You went out looking for the truth and you didn't find it, but then you had that question. It's all in your mind, it's all in your mind. I remember repeating it, repetition depleted it, nothing but a dream. A dream inside a dream. Now I know that you mean what you would ask me why. I don't believe in magic. It's all in your mind. Well, yes, to say to yourself, it's all in your mind is actually a thought-stopping technique. It prevents your brain from engaging in critical thought. You're giving yourself a conclusion and you're sticking to it and making all the facts fit with that conclusion. Yes, you remember repeating the phrase because you didn't want to accept what seemed impossible. Repetition depleted it, nothing but a dream. You just repeated the phrase and everything was meaningless to you. That is basically a thought-stopping technique. That is an accurate description. A dream inside a dream. Now I know what you mean when you ask me why. I don't believe in magic. Do you believe in magic? Of all the things you used to say, oh, it must have been the one. Of all the things you used to say, it made me laugh, but now you're gone. All the things you used to say that I said were in your mind. Don't you believe it? Don't you believe in magic? So yeah, it's sort of like someone reflecting on an old friend who died years ago or is now gone. Something they asked them, and at the time they thought the question was silly, but it turns out perhaps not so silly. They didn't allow themselves to critically examine the question. They just went with the conclusion as provided by conventional wisdom. There is no magic. Magic's not real. It cannot be demonstrated to happen. That is a conclusion. If you just stick yourself to conclusion, you'll just make all the facts fit with that conclusion. That is not critical thought. So that is to say that this song is not necessarily about critical thought so much as it's about, well, answer the question, do you believe in magic? No. Why don't you believe in magic? Have you actually thought about it, or are you just going with conventional wisdom? Have you really thought about, is anything real? Which is a question that this band asks a lot, because they're basically solipsists. They are a legitimate religious organization of solipsism, which is the belief that reality is fundamentally a projection. So they just kind of ask that question. I think most people have not really even considered it. Conventional wisdom says, of course, everything is real, but if you look at it critically with science, you're like, I can't actually say that anything is truly real, can I? Not objectively. Anyway, the lyrics are pretty meaningful, they're pretty clear, they're well communicated. The rhyme scheme makes quite a bit of sense. I'm going to rate this one... I'm going to stick to my initial rating of 3.5 monocles. I don't feel like it deserves any more than that or any less. That's perfect. It's a really good average song on the border of excellent. So it's perfect. It's a great song. It's a good way to get into them if it's your first time. It's a good average song. No hate. Anyway, peace.